and welcome back to Psych Nurse. My name is Mark Kay. I am a psych nurse, and today I want to talk to you about self-maintenance. I guess on the back of all of this, where this is come from is the fact that, I think at times we can feel like we've got no control over our lives, and it can feel like it's spiraling. And often we talk to our patients about having control in our lives, but we don't tend to practice what we preach. So what I wanted to address today was, the fact that we can have some control in our lives, and to a certain extent we don't, but we can have some control. And what we can control is what we think about and how we perceive those thoughts. And then finally, what we do once we perceive those thoughts, our actions that apply, And, at the end of the day, we don't have control over other people, okay? We can't, if you're on a health kick, for instance, you can't stop your colleagues from bringing in donuts and chips and crisps and lollies and things like that. You don't have any control over that at all. You can't control the weather. And even when the weather is bad to you, to others, like a farmer, if it's raining, he's very happy that there's rain, water in his fields. But you might be upset because you can't go out on that bike ride that you wanted, or that hike that you wanted, or go down to the beach or whatever you might be doing. You can't control your colleagues when they want a night out. They want to go down the pub, and perhaps you don't want to drink. These are all things that are out of your control, but what are in your control is the thoughts that you have, how you perceive them, and then your actions and behaviours. So that's just something that I want you to think about in the next few minutes when I give you offer you some advice around supports and practices that you can identify within yourself. Some of them you may already do, and others you might think about them often, but not actually put them into practice. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this blog. Okay, support number one, which is health knowledge. It's fair to say that people that have a stronger health knowledge tend to have better health outcomes, really, at the end of the day, as opposed to those people that have a weaker health knowledge. They will tend to lean towards the more riskier type behaviours that lead to poorer health. So having a good health knowledge is your first support to think about. Second support is self-recognition, and this is made up into different components. The first component of self-recognition is contentment, and this is the first step, if you like, into feeling good about your life and feeling content about your life. I know it's a big ask because it is such a big area. However, contentment or non-contentment, if you're not content with your life, you then need, say, the next component, which is optimism. And optimism is either having the thoughts to change your situation or improve your situation. So if you've got contentment or non-contentment and optimism, and then the third part is having actually the drive to go and change the things that you want to change, or improve the things you want to improve, or stop the things that you don't like about yourself or don't want to be associated with anymore. And that's the drive. And normally where this all sits is having that feeling of fitting in to whatever your situation is, fitting into your family's ideals, fitting into your friendship groups, fitting into your work colleagues. These encompass that second part of having a much more healthier life, and that's made up of self-recognition. Okay, so the third support is leisure interests. Okay, now I know I go on about this a lot, but I'm not expecting you to wake up every morning and go to the gym, or go and run a marathon, or go swim with sharks or something. What I'm asking you to do is just to start moving. If you're the sort of person that likes to sit around and binge on Netflix all day, that's fine, that's okay, if that's what you like doing. However, you've got to realise that if you want to make some changes in yourself, be it physically or mentally, having some sort of leisure interest is going to be the first step to do any healing whatsoever. So that's just something to think about. Have a healthy leisure interest. brings me on to support 4, which is a healthy intake. Okay, if you've got a healthy intake, you're going to have a better health outcome. It's so popular nowadays to eat aggressively, if you like, and eat as much as you can. And not just that, it's about eating that poor nutrition that actually gets supplied to you as well. And what I'm talking about is those calorie loaded type foods, wheat and sugar. You know, if you're going to be pursuing a unhealthy intake, it's going to lead you on that path to obesity. Make no mistake, it's going to do that. Support number 5, risk mitigation. Oh, it sounds very legal, doesn't it? But what I'm actually talking about is risk prevention. Okay, if you take part in risky type behaviours, this is going to either lead to chronic disease or mortality, death. Okay, so just something to think about. And I'm not just talking about eating poorly or something like that. I'm talking about alcohol intake, how much alcohol you consume, the types of processed foods that we eat, the use of illicit substances, which is very, very popular nowadays, and and not only just what you're consuming and what you're eating, also your sexual health as well. You know, not taking precautions in that area, having numerous partners. If you're going to be doing riskier type behaviours, you're going to again be on that journey to chronic ill health or disease or even death. And the final support is really quite simple, really, and it's been highlighted so many times in the past 12, 14 months. Wow, everything you turn on, we know about COVID, and we know about the risks, and some countries are in dire trouble with COVID. So a basic practice that we can all do is, say, for instance, is just wash our hands, for instance, on a regular basis. Shower, change clothes, all those sorts of things. As nurses, it's about donning on the right equipment if we've got it, and trying not to cross-contaminate things. As ordinary human beings, it's just about being mindful, if you're at the gym, to wipe down your equipment or something like that. Basically all you want to do is reduce that risk of spreading whatever you may have or contracting whatever you may not have. And that is the final support in this very, very short blog about just some support for life. Okay, so enjoy that, take from it what you can, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you.